All right, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. I want to say and give double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders, a great millstone for teaching this word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four corners of the globe, preaching and believing in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Shai. Shalom to the elect, Lord willing, we're some of those men. Hey, I'm the brother Bar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii. Come see you with another quick lesson, and I wanted to do a lesson on this picture that you see right here in front of you, right? This is a picture of a New York Post page when OJ Simpson, he died over the week. And, these Edomites, they're celebrating. He basically died in infamy. He beat a charge that 9 times out of 10 would typically result in the conviction of a so-called black man here in America. When he was charged with killing his ex-wife and her boyfriend, her then boyfriend or whatever at the time, in a grisly, homicide in L.A. in the 90s, right? And so, it polarized America. It showed a straight separation of so-called blacks in America and so-called white people in America. This dude, OJ Simpson, he lived a life that most people could just dream about. He went to the NFL, was a Hall of Famer NFL player. He was an actor. He married a so-called white woman and shit, which is typical of athletes in America. But once he got in trouble, he was just a nigga again, and the Esau never forgave him. The public opinion of Edomites never forgave him, even though he beat all the charges that he was charged with. He beat him. He beat a double homicide. And not just any double homicide. He beat a double homicide of a so-called white woman and a so-called a white man. And Esau never forgave him. And you can tell in this post, which this is paramount to defamation of character, because they call him something that he's not. It says football star, actor, murderer, liar, OJ Simpson, 76. And it says the real killer is dead. The real killer is dead. So they're basically saying that this dude is the real killer. And see here in this world that we live in, the only people that is allowed to get true justice in this society is a so-called white man. Even if the justice is not even righteous, even if the judgment is not a righteous judgment. How many so-called Negroes, men, so-called black men, died in this country all because a so-called white woman said he did something. And 9 times out of 10, it was a lie. It was just an opportunity to hang him. And that's why, I was a kid when this came out. I was, in 10th grade. But I remember that day that he got acquitted. We were in class, and the whole school just erupted in celebration. And we didn't know why we was jumping up and down. Jake just excited. It was like a victory for Jake in America. Because they already knew, they just knew that it was going to be an open and shut case. But it wasn't an open and shut case. And ultimately, he was found innocent. So why can't you let that man live? Because Esau has a perpetual hatred for us. You know what I'm saying? If we're not on the bottom, if you're not, jacked up. And then on top of that, I'm going to get to some precepts. On top of that, this dude, he was extremely smart with his finances, man. He wasn't a dumb nigga. Niggas get a couple $1 million and they just spend it. They don't invest it. They don't protect it. So people can take it from him. You know what I mean? But OJ Simpson, he was smart. He was really smart about his money. You know what I mean? He protected himself. So them Edomites that were trying to, basically, they couldn't break him via the judicial system, because had they broke him through the judicial system, it would have assured them money, which they won a civil case against this man, but they didn't get nothing because his money was protected. But Esau, he gets to walk away scot-free. This is Psalm 73:1. A psalm of Asaph. Truly the Most High is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone, my steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. Right. And here it is. Esau does all his wickedness and evil, and he gets to prosper in this world. He gets to pretty much walk off into the sunset after all the evil that he's done. And so our people see that, and they get envious of him, and they want to try to emulate this man imitate this man, be like this man, which is the same thing as imitate and emulate, But then they realize that it's a failing game, trying to be like this man, right? But you see the prosperity of the wicked, and it'll make you envious of this dude. Like, what the fuck, man? Because he can do shit that nobody else can do on his side. And that's because this is his world as we stand right now, right? So let's keep on reading. It says, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. In the NLT, it says, they seem to live such painless lives. And when you look at these Edomites, you see that shit. They little kids grow up with acres of land. They got fucking cattle and wildlife and shit. Just they got a life. They live a life that Jake don't never knew how to live. Like this dude, OJ Simpson. He had to get what he got from the muscle. He literally had to run for it. You know what I mean? Edomites don't have to live like that. He had bad knees. He was all fucked up. Even during the time of the murder happened, he had bad knees. He was messed up. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, look, how can this dude have killed two people with that swiftness, that quick, and a murderous rage because his ex-wife was dealing with some Edomite, even though she was living in his house and driving his car. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, it just didn't add up. And then on top of that, the trial was mixed with a whole bunch of racial overtones, So anyway, it says, it says, they seem to live such painless lives. Their bodies are so healthy and strong. Yeah, Jake catching hell. I said, OJ Simpson was all jacked up. Esau, he's firm. This motherfucker lived to be 100 years old. Knees ain't bad. His back ain't fucked up. His heart ain't busting out his chest. He just lived. It's just crazy. Let's go back in the KJV. They are not in trouble. They are not in trouble as other men. Neither are they plagued like other men. It says in the NLT, they don't have troubles like other people. They are not plagued with problems like everyone else. Right. And here it is. It showed you that this dude OJ Simpson is Jake, because even though he beat this case, it was like he really lost the case in the public eye. So he was basically a pariah for the rest of his life. But he didn't give a fuck. He beat the case. And so he was able to speak freely about it after it was over. What if he did it? He didn't do it, and da-da-da-da-da, And people got mad, mainly you Edomites. You Edomites got mad, and then you decided to defame this man's character, even in his death. So showing you that the curses are real, because when Jacob Rothschild died, you heard nothing bad about this man in the newspapers. All you heard was Lord Jacob Rothschild passes away. That's all you heard. You ain't hear how he died, why he died, where he died. You ain't hear none of that. They didn't say the true killer is dead. Nobody said anything about Jacob Rothschild. Even in his death, they respected this man. Same thing with David Rockefeller when he died. But when this dude died, OJ Simpson died, instead of saying, a former NFL player, OJ Simpson's passed away, y'all say this shit. The real killer is dead. Because Esau, he wants to get justice either way. He wanted to get justice either way. So again, they're not plagued with problems like other men. Therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. You see? And in NLT it says, they wear pride like a jeweled necklace and clothe themselves in cruelty. Yeah? So Esau, he does nothing but cruelty to our people, and he rocked that shit like a chain. His pride, he rocks like a chain. He puts on violence like he putting on a coat. Right? So this man was clearly found innocent. Right? But he should have been able to walk away. But instead, they found ways to get him caught up. They called him a liar. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't know OJ Simpson personally, but all men lie down here, right? He's no more of a liar than Esau is. And Esau is the greatest of liars, Esau is the greatest of liars. You so-called white people, you have turned the world upside down. You really made the world believe that you are a kind, gentle, loving people, and a people of equality and equity, and you're none of those things. people really believe that. So to the point where the average Edomite, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt when he or she is dragged into the court system, when he or she is accused of killing. Like Esau is always called the accused, right? But Jacob is always found guilty. As soon as he get a case, he didn't even get tried yet. He didn't even go through a court of law. He's already guilty, all because of what he or she looks like. And this is hatred, right? This is complete hatred, man. So it says, verse 7, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than a heart could wish, right? It said, look, it sound like Jake, the Jake wrote this. It said, these fat cats have everything their heart could wish for. These fat cats, man. You know what I'm saying? They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. They scoff and speak only evil in their pride. They seek to crush others, man. And that's what they did to this dude. You got this fucking transformer, Caitlyn Jenner, this abomination. It's an Edomite and it's a tranny. So it's a super abomination. Talking about some good riddance about this guy. And this dude killed people in a car accident. He killed some old rich lady in a it wasn't even a car accident. The nigga was driving too fast. And then he claimed he was running from paparazzi, and he was able to walk away from this case, transform his body into a woman just in case he get convicted. He'll go to a female prison where he ain't got to be around men, doing any men. You see? And then this Edomite was OJ's friend when he was alive. They got pictures together with this nigga and everything, even though OJ said he ain't really no boy like that. You know what I'm saying? But when OJ was in his strength, they were taking pictures, walking around, hanging out. They popped the same chick. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit. So it's like, now that he's dead, now this devil jumps up and just, rears his hatred. And that's why in the kingdom of heaven ain't gonna be no mercy for you Edomites. Because when you go down, the real murderer, the real killer is gonna be caught. And the real is you Edomites, man. You're the ones that do this. And this all show you this is nothing but hatred. This news line right here is nothing but hatred for Jake, man. Nothing but hate. Because you can't call him a murderer. He didn't get convicted of murder. He eventually went to jail, but just because he was trying to steal his own shit back. Salakia. Bear with me. Yeah, so this they show this is nothing but perpetual hatred that Esau spews, man. And he speaks lawfully when it's concerning oppression. You know what I'm saying? They laugh, they joke, they pride themselves. Oh, there was nothing like what they did to us was nothing. But see, again, he's the only one that can get judgment either way. But when it come to us, we get no judgment, right? This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37. I'm sorry, 35 and 5. Ezekiel 35. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5, man. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. It says in the NLT, your eternal hatred for the people of Israel, and Esau has had an eternal hatred for us. It says right here, prophecy against Mount Seir, because it's a message. It says a message for Edom, right? Edom is the so-called white man, right? Your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for their sins, right? As surely as I live, saith the sovereign Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, since you show no distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath of your own. Your turn has come. Right, and that's right. You Edomites, your turn is coming. And this is what we're prophesying against you. We're prophesying against Edom. Your time is coming. So you can control the narratives. You can try to rewrite history all you want. But we know that your perpetual hatred has caused you to destroy our people. Right? And you've had this hatred since millennium ago. Since you were Esau and our forefather Jacob were in the womb. Right? So you can use your narratives and spin it all you want, but we know who the true killer is. We know who the true liar is, right? We know who the true murderer is, and that's you Edomites, you so-called white people. Okay, you so-called white people. You're the true murderers. All right. So it gives you, y'all couldn't wait for OJ Simpson to go back to the spirit world. And guess what? The Lord has forgiven OJ for his sins, but you Edomites, you're never going to be forgiven. You can never find no repentance in the eyes of the Lord. All right? This is the book of Hebrews 12 and 16. Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessings, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Right? And it says in the NLT, verse 17, you know that afterward, when he wanted his father's blessing, he was rejected. It was too late for repentance, even though he begged with bitter tears, man. And ultimately, he got a blessing, but it was a blessing of the sword. And ultimately, he still haven't received no repentance. He ain't get no repentance for that. The Lord didn't create Edomites to get repentance. He didn't create Edomites to be saved. He didn't create Edomites to be forgiven. The only ones that can be forgiven for their sins are the children of Israel. All right? That's it. And Esau has painted himself, again, controlling their narrative. He has painted himself to be everybody in the world, including the Lord's people, man. Including the people of the Bible. He's painted himself to be everybody in the world except the Edomite. He got all this infinite knowledge about nations past and in ancient times, right? You claim that the earth is 65 billion years and all this other weirdo shit, but you never talk about the Edomites. For somehow, some way, you're just stupefied when it comes to the nation of Edom. And when they played an intricate role in the scriptures. They were the chief adversary of the children of Israel. You never talk about them because you're trying to hide this narrative, but it's too late. You're being exposed. You're being exposed for who you truly and what you truly are. So you can control the narrative all you want, but the narrative is slipping out of your hand fast, right? Okay? So I just wanted to bring this out because it just showed you that, they hate Jake, man, even in Jake's death. But it's all right because the Lord, he loves us, man. And OJ Simpson is going to come back in the spirit, out of the spirit world, born in the kingdom of heaven. He's going to be a king. He's going to be a prince and going to be raised up to be a king. And he's going to rule over you Edomites with a rod of iron, just like we are. We're going to have that same rod of iron and busting you Edomites down, man. And we're going to get the real killer, which is you Edomites. If that's a shalom, on to the next.